Check, 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 check. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood. It's the Heaven Hollywood experience. We're gonna be live on Twitch. We're gonna be live on YouTube. We're gonna be live on Twitter. So let's make sure that y'all hit that like button, thumbs up it. Make sure you share this stream with at least one or two friends. All right. Let them know that Heaven Hollywood is live. Anybody that has anything to say, we'll of course be dropping the link. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, man. We didn't get into that Roland Martin the other day. We're gonna get into it today. The Roland Martin exposed. And now the YouTuber What's the Dirt has dropped some information saying that he has proof that Jay-Z conspired against Drake, Jay-Z, Rock Nation. Here's those names again. Jay-Z and Rock Nation conspired against who this time? They're saying Drake again. Hey, Purple Flowers. Purple Flowers, I gotta ask you, do you know somebody? I gotta ask you about this girl. I'm gonna ask you, do you know her? Yeah, so live on Twitch, live on Instagram, and of course live on the IE Network, YouTube. So we're gonna be talking about this Roland Martin tea that we got, so-called from Tasha K. We're gonna check on that. Sophie Cunningham in the WNBA. If you've been following the WNBA, there has been this whole week there's been backlash at player Sophie Cunningham, who's on the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark, and the backlash has been over Sophie Cunningham making a comment during All-Star Weekend about transgender players in the WNBA. Now, as we all know, the WNBA is recordingly 30% queer. I think I would think it's probably more than that, right? I think it's probably more than that, but Jamel Hill and Carrie Champion was talking about it. And Jamel Hill, as much as I appreciate her, she's a sister, but she's been known to be somewhat of a race baiter. All right, I don't really like calling black people race baiters because I just don't feel as though black people could be racist, should be racist, or are racist. I just feel as though if a black person don't like a white person, it's just a reply, and apply to how they've been treated by white people. I don't think there are any black people that are walking around here just naturally racist. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Right? Because that ain't been us. We ain't never been racist. We were the ones getting treated like that. We are in response to how we were getting treated. So I don't think a black person can be racist. I'm gonna be honest with you. And but Jamel Hill is a race baiter, in my opinion. Like, she wants to turn every argument, every debate into race. And I don't think that should be happening either. Let me close my window. It's going to be hot in here, but y'all can't really hear me. My window open. So we're going to be talking about that. And of course, Roland Martin. We didn't get into Roland Martin the other day, but Tasha K was the one that started this story. And she so-called says she has information and on a video about Roland Martin. And my daughter, her big behind mouth. So we're going to get into that. And of course, we're just going to look around as we do. All right. From the beginning, we like to look around social media, surf. I'll share my screen to let y'all see what I'm looking at. All right. And we're going to surf social media and find out, what's popping and what's going on. Right. So let's see. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Hope you're off to a nice start for the weekend. If you guys are going out, hitting the clubs, hitting the bar, hitting the gym, hitting wherever. The library. What's up, Marcel? Wherever y'all are hitting, just be careful out there as you're traveling. Now, I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see. The Roland Martin thing we didn't get to before, so I'm going to start off there. And, a lot of people have been reporting on it, like a few people have been reporting on it. And, hold on. I need to go to, first thing I need to do, this Tupac trial is going on. Don't want to forget about that. The Tupac trial is going on right now. Keefy D, right? Keefy D over there with the Tupac trial, for a minute. They did this for a minute. It was looking like they was trying to throw Diddy's name into it. But KPD has since come out and said Diddy had nothing to do with it. Right? So, once again, whenever somebody tried to put something out there, they always try to throw something at Diddy's way. Right? Big law firm facing RICO claims, motion to compel operation. We go again, always trying to throw Rock Nation's name in something. Big law firm facing RICO charge. The RICO allegations against Reed Smith, whoever that is, all claims survived the motion to dismiss the bankruptcy court, whoever he is. Bankruptcy judge denied the firm's motion to compel arbitration. Big law firm, Rock Nation, they want to put that in parentheses, facing RICO claims, losing motion to compel arbitration. I mean, they always want to throw in Rock Nation's name. I mean, it's ridiculous. Some don't have nothing else to do with Rock Nation. So, we also have this thing in the matter of Otis and James. That is the, before we get started in with Roland Martin, let me just share my screen so y'all can see what I'm looking at here. And this is Otis versus James. Now, this is from the Diddy docket. And this, if you guys remember, once when the Diddy trial was going on, and he was hiring escorts from Hell's Angels or whatever the hell it's called, Heaven's Angels or something. They then came back and said they wanted to sue. The escorts, now are trying to sue uh, Heaven's Angels or whatever it's called, right? Trying to say that it was their fault of sexual assault, sexual trafficking, and stuff like that, right? So this is the witness list for what's left of that trial. The Platonist witnesses, Platonist Steve Otis, who is um one of the the escorts, Dr. Nadia Arenia, Brett Taylor is the one of the defendant Brett Taylor, Francia Taylor, Bridget Collins. Defendants witnesses are going to be Dr. Perez, Steve Otis' wife, and Brian Alzair. Now, I know this doesn't seem like a big deal. Damages inquest, September 8th. This seems a big deal, but what they're trying to do is these are some of the escorts from Cowboys Angels. Taz Angels? No, stop. It's Cowboys and Angels. They're the ones who got hired by Diddy. So some of them now are trying to come back on the back end and sue some of the escorts that went out to chill with Diddy and Cassie and do whatever they was asked to do. They're now trying to come back and sue Cowboys or Angels, right? To say, oh, they were sex trafficking them. But I don't think that's going to work, all right? Then we have this Megan Thee Stallion situation. Now, everybody probably forgot about this lawsuit, but this is Megan Thee Stallion's lawsuit. Remember the photographer? There was a photographer that said, "Oh, Megan Thee Stallion was making out with a girl and she made me watch and all this other stuff." So I'm taking this from the site, from the page Come With Facts, as they reposted from the Diddy Doc reposted. So after nearly 9 months since the last major filing, Judge Gregory Woods has issued a mixed ruling on Megan Thee Stallion and Roc Nation's motion for summary judgment in Emilio Garcia versus Megan P., Roc Nation and related entities. You know they always want to throw Roc Nation's name in it, even when Roc Nation has nothing to do with it, just because they're managing Megan. So people are gonna continue to try to throw Roc Nations in there for the headlines, because they know Roc Nation is tied to Jay-Z. So if they can put, what's up, Madison? If they can put Jay-Z's name in as many headlines as they can, you know, they always try to make Jay-Z look bad, and Jay-Z don't even got anything to do with this. But because Roc Nation manages Megan and the other person, they're always going to be told by their lawyers, yeah, make sure you sue the entities. Make sure you sue Roc Nation too. Like, put their name in it because they're managing her. And what they try to hope for is that they start and, they embarrass him, or they don't want their name in these sort of headlines, and they just say, okay, we'll settle it real quick because we don't want our names in headlines. That's why people start mentioning the entities and the companies. So it says here, the court did not dismiss the case. While several claims were dismissed, the majority of Garcia's core employment claims survived, meaning the lawsuit is now expected to proceed towards trial unless the parties reach a settlement. Now, the court ruled that a jury, not the judge, must decide several of the lawsuit's most important factual disputes, include whether Garcia was actually an employee rather than an independent contractor, whether Roc Nation functioned as a joint employee alongside Megan P. and her companies, and whether, and I guarantee you they're going to get that dismissed. and her companies, and whether Garcia was unlawfully retaliated against after repeatedly raising concerns about unpaid wages and compensation. Now, among those claims surviving summary judgment, Garcia's wage and hour claims, overtime claims, employee misclassification claims, joint employee claims, New York labor, New York retaliation claim, California Labor Code retaliation claim, waiting time penalty claims, wage statement claims, and related California Business and Profession Code claims based on the alleged labor law. Those claims will now be decided by a jury. What happened to the sexual assault claim? That's what I want to know. In refusing to dismiss those claims, the judge found there is sufficient evidence from which a reasonable jury could conclude that Roc Nation exercised significant control over Garcia's employment. The court pointed to evidence that Roc Nation allegedly negotiated Garcia's compensation, reviewed and approved invoices, coordinated his business schedule, expected him to respond to work requests at all hours, required him to attend meetings, reviewed his creative work, and allegedly limited his ability to work for competitors. Although the defendants dispute those facts, the judge concluded those factual disputes must be resolved by a jury, okay, rather than on a summary judgment. The court also found that a jury could reasonably conclude Garcia was retaliated against after repeatedly complaining about unpaid compensation. The opinion represents evidence that Garcia raised payment concerns on multiple occasions. And I'm just looking, this is a procedural win for Garcia. So then it's going to decide whether they're going to be able to sue them, right? They'll be able to sue them. Now, I need to find out what happened to the sexual assault claims or sexual harassment claims, because they at one time said that, oh, Megan was having sex with a girl and forcing him to watch. So I wonder what happened to those claims, right? I wonder what happened to those claims. Now, what is this? Offended by the same gender makes a difference is not supported by any case law. What is this? Judge Bluth. The problem for defendant Combs is that the appellate division, First Department and Breast, found the allegations of rape and sexual assault was sufficient to allege animus on the basis of gender. Defendant argued that somehow the fact that plaintiff and Mr. Combs are the same gender makes a difference and not supported by any case law. Like, so what is this now? Is this the whole thing with Jonathan Hay? Well, I tell you, man, these lawsuits are crazy. Like, these things, the way people are able to bring forth these lawsuits and they don't have any significant proof is wild to me. It's wild to me. New York County Clerk. I don't know who this is. Appellate division. The problem. I don't really know what claims these are. Okay. In the matter of Doe, the Hamptons party guest. Okay. So this is the Hamptons guy who's saying that Diddy actually assaulted him. VGMVP is out because the alleged incident did not occur in New York. Actual assault and actual battery remain against Combs only. He has 20 days to answer. Other claims against Combs and all claims against corporate defendants was tossed. It's crazy. There's another one in case matter of Doe, the runner versus Combs. Judge will order on Combs and his corporate defendant's motion to dismiss. Negligence, hiring, retention, claims survive. NC VGML, VPO violation, actual assault, actual battery remain against Combs, and he must answer within 10 days. Like, all of these actual assault and actual batteries is wild. It's wild. Anyway, those are the court cases. Megan Thee Stallion get down, didn't you know? Oh yeah, I mean, I knew that. I know that Megan gets down with girls, but he's trying to say it was actual assault. He's trying to say that, oh, she did it in a car and he had nowhere to go, so he was forced to watch them, and he wants to say that that's actual assault or actual harassment or something else he was saying. So, I don't really know whether, she did that or not. But my thing is this, and I know people are grown, right? Everybody's grown. We get that. We get that. Everybody's grown. Everybody should be able to do what they want. We get it. But if you're Megan Thee Stallion, right? You already know that people want to see, you go down. They still blame you for the Tory thing. And Rock Nation is your manager, so you want to see, everybody wants to see, not everybody, but all the haters that don't like Jay-Z and want to humble Beyonce for whatever strange reason. They want to see Megan Thee Stallion go down. They want to see Rock Nation take whatever L they can take, right? So, let me come on camera. So, my thing is, Megan Thee Stallion and anybody else in Rock Nation themselves, Jay-Z, whoever, if y'all know that they're watching you with a fine-tooth comb, why don't y'all just chill the fuck out? I mean, I just don't understand. Megan, you couldn't do that at home? Like, you had to do that in the car? Everybody is looking for a bag. Everybody's looking for a cheap bag. So if you getting with old girl, whatever, why couldn't you just do that? Go back to your room and do that. Why did you have to do that in the car and allegedly in front of this driver, or photographer? I mean, wouldn't it just been simpler just to go back to the hotel room and you and this girl go in the room in private and do that? You had to do it in the car? I just don't understand. And then you got all these kids getting to, they so-and-so, they made sure they went right for competitors, they were this, that, and the third. I mean, if the jury finds that this seemed as though Rock Nation was controlling him, Rock Nation, you're gonna be a part of this lawsuit. You're gonna have to come up with some money. You have to settle with this dude. Now that they've seen that those charges survived and it's gonna go to a jury trial, Rock Nation might say, you know what does this guy want? $5 million. Okay, we'll give him $5 million. Get out of here. You know what I mean? But if they don't want to be like, you know what? I really don't think at this point they really care about their reputation, right? Because there's going to be little lawsuits on the side that these judges keep allowing to continue, even when they don't have proof. And it's very frustrating and it's very scary. That's why I'm making sure I don't never have no lawsuits, because they're letting anything go through now, and the person don't even have to have proof. And they say, oh, it survived, this survived, that sexual assault survived, but the only thing she has is her word and detailing of what happened. No pictures, no medical records, no nothing. But the judge is still allowing it to continue. That's a scary thought. It's like, you used to have to have proof in order. So I could just walk up and say, oh yeah, Beyonce tried to rape me. And they'll go and talk to Beyonce. I can do a lawsuit against Beyonce, and they'll allow the lawsuit to continue, and she got to get a lawyer and this, that, and the other, because I said, Beyonce raped me. I don't need to provide any proof. It's just wild, man. It's just wild. So we live in scary times. Like, you can't do nothing. You need to. You can't fly bitches out no more. You can't have threesomes. You can't do none of that. You can't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's not even what the lawsuit is about. He's suing over wages and retaliation. I know that, but the law. I know that, Elite. But that's why I said I wonder what happened to the original lawsuit, because the original lawsuit, he had sexual assault in there. Now, that's why I said I don't know whether that got dismissed or what, but I know the original lawsuit, he was trying to sue up for sexual assault. Now, unless I just missed it, if they dismiss that part, then they dismiss that part. Okay, fine. I'm saying I don't remember seeing it getting dismissed and what happened to that part. I know about all the retaliation, not getting paid, unpaid wages, second and third. But when he first came out, so this is what made the lawsuit big. People wasn't even caring about him not getting paid. Oh, sexual assault. All the thing they needed to hear was sexual assault and Rock Nation. That's all they needed to hear. And that's what people are trying to do. People are trying to attach Rock Nation, even when it don't. Just like there's a lawyer getting sued. This lawyer happens to be one of Rock Nation's lawyers. And then what do you see it in the paper? Oh, in parentheses, Rock Nation. Now, Rock Nation is not getting sued, by this in this other lawsuit. There's a lawyer that happens to be a lawyer for Rock Nation. But just because it was Rock Nation, okay, so he said he was never suing for SA. He just included that to make headlines. I'll have to, if you say so, I'll have to double check that. But I could have sworn he was suing for that in the beginning. What's good, Evan? Oh, what's up? What's up, Project? What's up, Project? All right, so again, we have to wait and see. We got to wait and see if what happens with this. They're allowing it to continue. So, we'll find out. James, I'm coming. Drake Iceman wasn't bad. It was all right. Yeah, it was. It was cool. It was cool. Iceman was cool. Right. We'll have to go over that because now all of a sudden here we go again with another guy who claimingly he's got uh proof and information, everything else. You know how it is. Rock Nation, you will crumble, and this, that, and the third. All right. So we need to get into, because we didn't take care of it the other day. Now, me myself, like Roland Martin is doing videos. He need to be answering back these videos. Right? Let's see. So he's not responding. So, scandal break. That's something. Because if he's not saying, he did. So hold on. So let me see here on this Roland Martin digital joint. That plan was already expensive. I want to see if he really did respond. Then we're going to get into some of the stuff with the Tupac stuff. Okay, no, so he didn't. He has not responded to it yet. On my corner combat position. Let me see. So I'm gonna find the Tasha K thing, right? I'm gonna find the Tasha K piece on Roland Martin. Tupac's still the best, not Eminem. Well, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. Right? Everybody has their opinion of GOAT. So this is what Tasha K said 6 days ago. This is the whole thing. And people were talking about, I seen the tape and this, that, and the third, but I don't believe in that stuff anymore. I got duped before when people were saying, I saw the tape, I saw Tory's tape, and Megan Thee Stallion friend, there's a tape out there that proves that Megan Thee Stallion friend is the one and everybody swore up and down, people from Joe Button on swore up and down that they saw this tape, and this tape never ever came to fruition. Lion ass Whack 100. Oh yeah, Tory getting out. Tory getting out. They got a tape from a little Asian girl. Like, nigga, what? And they saying all this. They've been saying this now for 2 years. You know what I mean? I'm saying 2 years now. Tasha K says that she was sent some stills of Roland Martin in a compromising position. According to her, he was in thongs. He was getting his booty played with. And he had a wig on and all this other stuff. Then she says his lawyers contacted me, and said that they are real. Those pictures are real, but he's being extorted. Now, this is what she said they contacted her. However, the thing is about Tasha K, she always tells us that a lawyer contacted her, that this and the third, but she never ever shows the receipts. Never. She never shows the receipts. Those stills That's still BS. We saw that with the Diddy situation, and dude was straight lying. You know, with that lawyer and Courtney Burgess and the lawyer he had, they were straight lying about stuff, right? Now we have another girl. I'm going to get to her in a minute, where she's out there saying that Matthew Knowles was ex-trafficking her. So now, ironically, as soon as Matthew Knowles makes the news by saying, first he was saying Beyonce didn't make him, he was a millionaire before, this and the third. Then something else came out about some of the girls in the group. You know, something recently about LaToya Luckett, and some people were trying to say how Matthew Knowles was sabotaging LaToya Luckett. Then all of a sudden, boom, as soon as he's in the algorithm, now here comes a girl saying that Matthew Knowles was ex-trafficking. All right? Right, Elite. I talked about that the other day. I told and Elite, that is the main reason why I said I wasn't jumping out the window like everybody else. I wasn't going to waste my time making a video. I'll talk about it during the live, and if it comes out, it comes out, right? But I'm not going to sit here and say that this is real, right? Until I said, now, I got to admit, it don't look good that Roland Martin has not come out and say, oh, hell no. The fact that Roland Martin has not come out and say this is BS, that's not a good look. Remember, this is used under Section 107, copyright disclaimer, used for critique, criticism, entertainment, commentary. So this was the video, all right?
This is much better. What's up with y'all? How y'all doing? Y'all good? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, 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 hey. What's up with y'all? Y'all been wearing this leopard hat for 3 days because I had some family stuff to deal with.
Let's go.
What lawyers do. I don't give a damn, okay? Okay? But happy Saturday. I got some PSA. Okay, so it's going down in real time with Roland Martin, all right? And we're going to unwind everything on Monday. You know what I mean? Lawyers can do what lawyers do. I don't give a damn, okay?
See what I'm saying? We're going to unwind it all on Monday. Why did you have to unwind it on Monday? You know what I'm saying? Why did you have to unwind it on Monday? How come you didn't unwind it that day?
You have a platform, you talk about people, you expose people in your way, Roland. You know, you have your own thing, okay? And so I always give a courtesy call to any and everybody when I receive anything that is damaging to or could be damaging to their careers. I don't have to do that because I'm not a journalist. See, a journalist has to do that. I'm Tasha K, live from the porch, from the bedroom. Baby, we run a different ball game up over here. Now, we're not in the business to, slander you or defame you or make up things about you.
What do you mean you're not in the business? That's exactly what you're in the business for. We're not in the business to slander you. What do you think you did? Why do you think you got sued by Cardi B? Tasha K is full of shit. Oh, we're not in the business to slander you? What do you mean you're not in the business to slander? That's exactly what you're in the business of doing. That's exactly what you do on your platform. Is you slander people. You defame people's character. That's why you got sued. Oh, we give them a courtesy call when something that hurts their career. We're not in the same people, so then why are you even reporting it? If it's something that can hurt their career, why do you even report it? If you're not into slandering people.
The way we want to run our story, because I don't pay into no journalism society. I don't pay to be on the list. I don't subscribe to that. All right. So yes, this is a guy that talks about politics. So I got a call from a friend. Okay, he's another blogger, and he said, "Auntie Tasha," I said, "What's up, baby? What's up with you?" I said, "What's up with you?" He said, "I just got some. You need to see this." I said, "Well, give it to me, baby. Give it to me." And I'm not gonna say his name because I already know how they like to play with dissemination of porn. No, that's not what's going on here, okay? That man didn't disseminate no porn. That's not what happened. The girl who shot the porn of Roland Martin in her house, in her bedroom, that's who you need to sue. That's who you need to sue. But we're going to talk about that on Monday. Okay, we'll unwind it just a little bit more on Monday. I'm not going to drink wine this early because, I don't want the water retention this early. I want my back.
Okay, so basically what she was doing was teasing it, right? So I assume people could tune in on that Monday. So what happened on Monday? Let me see some here. I never thought I'd see down someone without him. He isn't no one special, nor the punch I knew. He's one of them old head women, but pegged, I can't unsee this. So if everybody's talking about they can't unsee it, all right. So here is this guy, and here's another guy that you really can't trust. This guy, Poetico Flacco, who is a DJ Academic stan, a Drake stan, right? And this is probably the guy she got it from. This is probably the guy she got it from. Poetico Flacco and Tasha K were both shocked seeing how small Roland Martin's micro penis was. Okay. So this, I'm going to assume, is the dude that she got it from.
Welcome to the
Hey, listen, man. I feel so honored. Yo, listen, all the women in my life.
Listen to this.
Watch Tasha K.
Listen to this bootlicking ass Negro. Here's another dude I can't stand. Bootlicking ass Negro. This dude is bootlicking DJ Academics. He's another one of these Drake stans and man Drake fans that act like the women. Drake could actually do a event for the men like he did for those women the other day. And those men will be acting just as crazy as the women were. They probably act more crazy, to be honest with you. Because Drake man fans are worse than his women fans. All right? So, listen to this guy glazing Tasha K.
Right now, I'm finally famous. You feel me? I'm finally famous, man. Shout out to all the women in my life, man.
You ruined my Saturday. When I received the photos, and I want us to describe them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was disappointed because Roland, because again, I'm African, right? There are people online who hate it. Roland has been one of the biggest advocates for Africans in this country. So when I seen this, I was like, come on, Roland, bro. Because Roland presented himself as like Martin Luther King, as like this Baptist preacher. Now, he never said, right? Like he presents himself as like a Baptist preacher. So I was shocked when I seen those pictures. But now, I'll be real. As a man, I did not know that penis got that small.
Listen, now, I wanted to tell people this. I want to tell them this is obviously a medical condition.
Yes, absolutely.
This is a medical condition.
Pause. I didn't know as a man that penises got that small. What type of men talk like that? What type of men talk like that? As a man, look how happy this Negro is talking about another man's Johnson, regardless how small or big it is. You see how happy he is? This is a weird brother. This is a weird brother. Any of these men that was sitting up here happy to discuss Diddy's piece and Roland Martin's piece, it's like when Diddy, when they saw Diddy, they're sitting there judging Diddy's size like a woman. It's like there was something. Oh yeah, he's got a small piece. Yeah, that's like he finally takes a L. It don't matter. He still smashed all the chicks that you wish you could smash, no matter what the size is. What's up, Miss Fields? What did I come into? Eggplant? You know what I mean? So everybody that saw the thing with Diddy and whatever their judgment was of Diddy's size or whatever, it felt like they gotta win. Like, yeah, I'm glad his dick is small. Like, it don't matter. He still smashed all those chicks that you wish you could smash. I mean, it's like they get happy when they find out that a man's D is small, into their opinion. This dude is way too happy to be talking about another man's shit.
The only penises that I've seen that look like this was Diddy's. John Gray, Pastor John Gray, has the same condition.
Diddy's penis is massive compared to Roland Martin's. If you got a woman who can tolerate you for 21 years and you got that, the least you owe her is some type of loyalty, bro. You got no...
Listen to this dude. Has Freaky Friday chat tonight? No, it just turned that when we talking about this chick, and we're trying to go over and see what she has or what she put on Roland Martin. Everybody's saying it's such a big scandal, but I still haven't seen anything yet. Only thing they're telling us is what they saw. Well, where is it? Where is it? You see, I'm not like those other people that go around reporting, oh yeah, Roland, Tasha K got the tea. She said that such and such and such, and she said that she saw it, and blah, blah, blah. And she said that the lawyer's contact. Well, show us the email. Show us the email then. If his lawyers contacted you, I've showed lawyers letters before. Just cross out their email. Show the email that they sent that said that they was admitting that this was true. Why can't you show the email? Why haven't we saw the pictures that y'all so-called say that y'all saw? Those pictures would be all over Twitter. The only thing that I saw looked like a video of a guy with a wig on, and you couldn't see his face. His back was turned. So how you know that's Roland Martin? You know what I'm saying?
Business stepping out. If you got that.
The first picture that you sent me, he's standing in a doorway. He has on a shirt that says, if it doesn't bring peace, profit, or purpose, then don't give it your time, energy, or attention. So his body is shaped like an inverted triangle. Yes. He has a fupa, and then he has, of course, hair, and then he has on a G-string, but it has a cuff. And I thought it was leopard print at first, but it looks like...
So his shirt said all that. So he had on a shirt that said all that on it? Wait a minute. What's he saying his shirt said?
But it has a cuff. And I thought it was leopard print at first, but it looks like army fatigue or money. But it's barely like an inverted triangle. Yes. He has a fupa, and then he has, of course, hair, and then he has on a G-string, but it has a cuff. And I thought it was leopard print at first, but it looks like army fatigue or money, but it's barely cuffed.
Penis is massive compared to Roland Martin's. If you got a woman who can tolerate you for 21 years and you got that, the least you owe her is some type of loyalty, bro. You got no business stepping out if you got that.
The first picture that
I got a text this guy, Poetic Flapper, he might have me blocked, right? Let me tweet this dude. You are a weirdo. Hold on. Poetic Flacco. Okay? You are a weirdo. You are really sitting on a podcast with a woman who owes $4 million, and you are grinning like a schoolgirl talking about the size of other men's cocks. You are a strange brother. All right? Dude was just a little bit too excited. A little bit too excited. All right. This chick ain't gonna learn. No, she's never gonna learn. Roland doesn't seem like he has a micro penis. He seems like it'd be average. Kenzie. Kenzie, what do you mean? It's you know what?
that you sent me, he's standing in a doorway. He has on a shirt that says, if it doesn't bring peace, profit, or purpose, then don't give it your time, energy, or attention. So his body is shaped like an inverted triangle.
Yes.
He has a fupa, and then he has, of course, hair, and then he has on a G-string, but it has a cuff. And I thought it was leopard print at first, but it looks like army fatigue or money, but it's barely covering like his big monkey, like his micro penis.
Yeah.
It's a micro penis, okay?
And he got the catfishing too, because what he did was, right, he put his balls within the pouch so it hung a little bit lower. The nigga got the catfish, and look at it. That ain't his penis.
Wow. And this dude, how many followers this clown got? 59,000 followers on Twitter, and I'm sure he's got way more on Instagram. This is the type of nigga y'all follow. This is what Roland Martin smashed allegedly. The dirty background is all I need to see. Let me see. Everybody is coming. So they're saying that this is the girl. Everybody's got everything but the pictures. Now, this is something old, right? They're saying this is old because this ain't what they're talking about. Okay, that's something that was on the internet for years. Streets are saying, so new breed global shoot turns the mic into a crime scene report. Cindy Star faces felony charges involving a minor, and the host wants blood in custody. Roland Martin and Richardson get branded as industry puppets. Like, all right, so here is this video, right? They so-called say this is Roland Martin. But they never show his face. That would not don't look like to me, unless that's supposed to be the girl. And what? Roland Martin's supposed to be laying in the bed? Is that what they're saying? That Roland Martin's laying, but once again, we can't see anything. We can't see anything. Let me see. Zoom in. All right, that's a full screen. Hold on. I hate zooming in because it messes up my picture. I'm zooming in and ain't doing nothing. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. So I guess Roland Martin's supposed to be in the bed. That's supposed to be the girl, I guess. Yeah, Roland Martin's supposed to be in the bed. So how are we supposed to decide if that's Roland Martin or not? You see what I'm saying? There's stuff like this. And people will just take Tasha K's word for it. You can't take Tasha K's word for nothing. That's his Netflix account. Let me see. I don't know. Hold on a minute. I'll zoom in like one more time, right? Because this is insane. Hold on. Let me see what this is. Like, this ain't showing me nothing. Oh, hell no. Nah. You ain't sending me no virus. No. Nah, I can't do nothing with that. Yeah, I can't do nothing with that. They're sending some sort of link out, and then when I click it, it takes, you ain't sending me no virus, buddy. Nope, I'm not doing that. So this is my point. My point is, people saying, oh, you don't want to talk about it. You just don't want to talk about it. Well, I'm not going to sit out here and say, now even Joe Button trying to be shady with Roland Martin's story, but Mark says it's not like he didn't want to talk about it. He found out it's an extortion attempt, and that's why he didn't want to report on it, because often he tries to respect what people do in their private life. But how do y'all know that he even said anything? That's my point. It's a Roland Martin scandal. People are reporting saying it's a scandal. But where is the tape? Like, He's telling about it, but nobody has any video. Nobody has any video. No, they can't have deleted it because it was never posted. It was never posted. If you look, so let me ask, you know what? Let me ask Grok, okay? Let me ask Grok. At Grok, no, let me ask Grok. This is a platform, especially if it's on Twitter. What is the Roland Martin scandal? And did the video or pictures ever leak? Tasha K says his lawyers contacted her, but never did we see proof. Has Roland Martin spoke on this? Did Tasha K show any receipts? Okay, so as we all know, Grok is what's his name's platform, and you know he don't like Democrats. So if there's something out there about Roland Martin, trust me, it can't legally be posted. Everybody else's shit get posted. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, at least for a second, that Megan Thee Stallion shit couldn't be posted either, but it got posted. And as long as you post it for a split second, it's out there in the Twitter sphere. Everybody else's shit get posted, even if it's for a second. Right? If there is a tape or somebody's seen a picture, so Tasha K is walking around with pictures, so she says, of this dude, and if she can't show it, why should we believe it's true? If she can't even show proof, she can't even hold up the picture. Don't post it. Hold the picture up to the phone. Hold your phone up to the screen. That's not posting it. Okay, well, whether if that's the case, then I'm not reporting on this because I got people sending me DM. Oh, how come you don't want to report on the Roland Martin? You don't want to report on it. Tasha K got a story and it's exclusive. How come everybody's talking about it? Why haven't you reported on it? Right? No, this is what Grok said. Here's what Grok said, right? Kind of like what Kenji just said. And then until something comes out, this will be my last thing on this, right? So, Grok says, no full video or pictures of Roland Martin have publicly leaked. Tasha K has described stills and claimed to have seen related video in detail, but has not posted or disseminated the actual images, video, citing legal threats. What the claims are showing is early August 2026, YouTuber Tasha K said she received stills from a video allegedly showing Roland Martin naked or in a leopard print thong in a woman's home that was not his wife's, on her bed in compromising position. She initially described it as him appearing to be pegged. Later descriptions on her show focused more on him receiving other acts with details about the setting, camera present, fur pillows. She also claimed he had sent the woman photos of himself in a G-string. Okay? Tasha K said the material was provided by another blogger, that fool that was sitting up there with her talking about men's pieces, and that the woman involved was a model ex-worker referred to in her coverage as someone like Shakola. She framed it as hypocrisy because Martin publicly emphasized black family values, is married to a pastor, and has no children. Lawyers' confirmation and distortion claim. Tasha K contacted Martin's team. She publicly stated that his team confirmed that the stills are 100% authentic and that he is being extorted. His attorney, there was no way they would admit that. The images, videos are real, but stem from a roughly 2-year revenge extortion scheme. The woman, an accomplice named Lamont Ambrose Clayton, in her coverage, she linked him to the alleged prior extortion of other celebrities, including Jamie Foxx, secretly unlawfully recording him, posting on Dissemin. The material would lead to lawsuits under revenge porn. Martin and his wife are working through it. It is being treated as a civil matter rather than a police report. Per her account on the lawyer's statements, Tasha K has referenced and played shared portions of that lawyer's communication in her content, including Facebook Reel and her YouTube show, as a form of receipt. I haven't seen it. She has also referenced other details she say support the story. I don't care about no stuff about reference. Anybody that can make up a story. I'm a screenwriter. I can make up a story right on the spot. So I don't want him to, a lot of people, they kill me when she's too detailed. It has to be true. That's bullshit. I write movies for a living. I write TV scripts for a living. I could sit right here and make a story up right now. What's up, King Ray? I can make a story and it be detailed. So I can't stand when people like, it was too detailed. It has to be true. No, it don't. Because when I write stories and when I write film and when I write TV series, they're very detailed too. But if you have a talent of doing that, it's going to be very detailed. Right? Oh, she was too detailed. No public response from Roland Martin or on discussion from Martin himself appears in available reporting or his social media. The only response that has surfaced is through his lawyer team contacting Tasha K, confirming the steals and asserting extortion legal threats. He has continued normal programming without addressing it directly in the search material. Now, to me, that to me is the biggest receipt. More receipt than anything Tasha K could say. Because if something like this is circulating about you and those pictures ain't you or it ain't true, you would have been coming back like, I'm suing Tasha K for defamation, this, that, and the third. The fact that he isn't suing or isn't even addressing it, that's not a good sign. Once he got into that fight. So, speaking of, hold on. Here's another one. This model accuses Matthew Knowles boy, I tell you, now they trying to get Matthew Knowles in trouble. Unbelievable. Let me see something here. Her name is Andrea something. Meek Mill. Alexandra, right? Okay. Let me find out from this dude, another hater, Ticket TV. I call him Pricket TV. Here's another hater. But I'm going to cover it. I'm going to let people decide for themselves, right? Whenever people hear conspiracy theories and stories about black men, especially rich black men, most of the time they believe it. They don't even care whether they got proof or not. They believe it, right? So let me see. This is it right here. Okay. Let me remember her name so then I can go get the and I used to talk to this chick in DM too. She used to be a adult film star. And I remember during the whole Diddy situation, she was talking to me, trying to get me to invest and pay her for an interview that she wanted to come on my podcast and talk to me about Diddy and I, you know, I just was like, nah, I just didn't believe her. I just didn't believe it. She fine now. She fine. I'll give you that. You fine, but I'm sorry, chick. I just don't believe you. You know, that's one thing about me and about these other bloggers. I don't give a damn how fine you are. If you come across like you lying, I'm not fine with you. I'm not interviewing you. I'm not doing none of that. I mean, I done seen a million pretty faces. Shit, I don't need to see another pretty face in my life, and I've seen enough. So she was trying to bat her eyes and try to get me to pay her to do it, and I'm like, chill. All right, so here we go. I want to find out her name so I can then look up the interview on my own. Now, Tigger TV is another one who don't really like black men. He don't like Diddy. He don't like Jay-Z. Right? He's another one. And we got so many of these grifting ass bloggers that they're hopping on the Jay-Z bandwagon. Then when Jay-Z ends up shutting everything down, then they're gonna say, "Oh, I always knew that Jigga, you know, was on up and up." So here we go.
And lack of words to find. Now, this woman who have previously come out and made allegations against none other than Sean Diddy Combs, who goes by the name of Adria English.
Okay.
She previously came out and accused Diddy of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and coercion. And she claims that this happened from 2004 to 2009.
So now let me see if I can find this interview. Andrea English, that was the one, right? So she first was around when the Diddy stuff was going down. I believe that her lawsuit got blown up because her ex-boyfriend came out and blew it and said, "Oh, she told me to back up her story and she'll give me $3 million." I believe the boyfriend kind of ratted her out, and then her story kind of just, kind of went by the wayside, right? So let me see something here. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna listen to a little of this, and then we're gonna go find the interview.
Also, she claims that Diddy used force, fraud, and threats to coerce her
Lies.
into engaging into prostitution
Lies.
and commercial sex work at his homes
Lies.
during his parties.
Lies.
She's also accused Diddy of forcing her.
These are lies because, see, here's the thing that happened with her. She was
to consume large amounts of alcohol and narcotics.
She was at Puffy's regular parties. I've seen her before, right? I let her know in a DM conversation that I knew who she was. I've seen her before. She used to go to Diddy's regular parties that you can go online and see pictures of, all right? Those were not freak-offs. Those were regular parties thrown by Diddy. During the trial, we all learned what a freak-off was. A freak-off was not a big old party with a bunch of celebrities and people in masks, and they're all running around Diddy's house and going up in different rooms and all freaking with each other. That is not what a freak-off is. Okay? A freak-off consists of 3 people. Diddy, his current girlfriend, and a sex worker. That is what a freak-off is. It had nothing to do with other celebrities. It had nothing to do with orgies. It had nothing to do with, everybody at this party and everybody's running into different rooms. That was not a freak-off. The parties that Diddy threw, you can see pictures to those parties, to every last one of those parties. The freak-offs, you don't see any pictures of the freak-off. During the trial, they asked Cassie Ventura. They also asked Jane Doe. All right? Was there ever any other celebrities involved? Cassie said no. They asked Jane Doe, was there ever any other celebrities involved in your freak-off? Jane Doe said no. It was just me, Sean Combs, and a sex worker. So anybody that comes out saying, yeah, I was at Diddy's freak-off parties and he drugged me, and that stuff is not true. None of that stuff came out in court. So if this stuff was true, right, these people were out making these allegations before. The prosecution is very pissed off that they didn't get Diddy on a RICO and get him on sex trafficking. If they thought this was real, don't you think they would have brought this girl in, or they would have brought Gene Deal in, or they would have brought Jaguar Wright in, or they would have brought these people in court and take their testimony if they felt as though what they're saying was legit? If you notice, Gene Deal's big ass was not anywhere during that trial. They didn't take him on. They didn't call Jaguar Wright. They didn't call Andrea English. They didn't call any of these people. If these people had legitimate information that the feds thought could help them, they would have brought them to trial. Yeah, he woke up with his butthole bleeding after a party. Yeah, well, maybe somebody else was in your ass. Or maybe you shit too hard. Who knows? You woke up with your butt bleeding. Maybe you took a shit the day before and the shit was too hard. Who knows? Maybe somebody else was in your ass. Man, please. Maybe you got hemorrhoids. Who knows? Andrea English, right? So let me look up Andrea English, Matthew Knowles. So I want to get the interview, right? Andrea English, Matthew Knowles. Because this girl is a kid. Now, I want to know where 22-year-old Jagged Edge member such as 16-year-old Beyonce. Let me see. I think she had a full interview. Okay. Andrea English, full interview, right? Yeah, here she goes here. So let me bring up Andrea English. She's been around for a while. She's been around for a while. Look at this. Girl. And had everybody talking. Though went viral, had everybody talking, right? Here we go.
With the Mitsubishi RVR, anything and everything goes.
I swear, boy. Pretty girl. I don't know why she got to do this. Pretty girl.
My name is Adria Shree English, and I was a victim of sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is bad, and the people that are running sex trafficking rings, they should go to prison. They're kidnapping minors, adults, women, men, boys, and girls. They're not only sex trafficking for their own evil, nasty
Listen, she can't even say her line straight.
desires, but they're actually sex trafficking to get organs for the black market.
Lord have mercy.
And to my victims, don't be afraid to tell your truth. I know it's hard, it's scary, it's not a thing that is easily, talked about. It's very, very, very degrading. And it's something that sticks with you and haunts you. It stays in your mind. The memory, you actually physically can feel it. You can feel the touches. You can smell the smells. When you go to bed at night, you dream the dreams like you're still there.
Lord have mercy.
And coming forward against Mr. Combs is to let him know that he did not destroy me. He did not take away my power. He did not take away my voice. He might have quieted me for a little bit of time, a few years, but I'm back. I'm ready to tell my story. I'm telling the truth, and the truth shall set me free.
Girl, first of all, you're back because you saw, yeah, she was lying. You're back because you saw Cassie got a check. A lot of these people all of a sudden decided it was time for them to tell their story when they saw Cassie got a check. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. When they saw Cassie got a check, then all of a sudden it was time for everybody to tell their story. Let's just keep it a buck. Right. I'm telling the truth. If you gotta tell us you telling the truth, you ain't telling the truth, chick. Yeah, she had to get a new attorney because that black woman that she had has already been sued numerous times, and she was representing Courtney Burgess, and Courtney Burgess turned out to be a liar. He's the one that was behind that book from Kim Porter. Okay? He was behind that book from Kim Porter. I did not have a good day betting today on baseball. Not a good day at all. Wow. Like, not a good day. Man. Oh my God, God going 0 for 5. Not a good day today. I'm live. What's up? Not right now. Not right now. Maybe later. All right. Okay, so crazy. So yeah, I'm trying to find the part that she's talking about Matthew Knowles. She said Matthew Knowles got her friend pregnant, and that was the reason why Matthew and Tina Knowles broke up, because Matthew had a baby with her friend. Now the one that Matthew and Tina did get a divorce over infidelity, because Tina put that in her book, and she said that Matthew fathered a child with another woman. But this Alexandra Wright, I've never heard her mention Andrea English, right? I've never heard her mention Andrea English. But Matthew Knowles, trust me, I don't know when she said this. But Matthew Knowles' ass, he will talk. Once he hears about this, trust me, he will talk.
Someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes, and there's multiple A-list celebrities running.
Listen.
The Back to It Super Sale is on now. Save up to 40% on select appliances, coolers, cookware, and more until August 13th.
Well, so we hear a little bit of her, and this is, like I said, the woman who is talking about Matthew Knowles. We're going to go back to what Ticket TV said that she's making these accusations.
Raid, I'm on them tapes, and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a track on me, including certain people that are presidential.
Now, peeps, I sat down today for a super exclusive interview with one of Diddy's accusers, Andrea English. She's been in the media a lot lately with serious allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of despicable and horrendous acts. The disgraced mogul is currently in custody, housed at Brooklyn MDC, one of the most notorious prisons in the US that was also the home of Epstein, where he was mysteriously taken out. Now, this is an interview that you don't want to miss. She revealed the dark secrets of working for Diddy, the feds telling her she was found on tapes with famous politicians, Diddy having threesomes with his mom, and more. Be prepared to be floored, and make sure you watch this whole entire video.
How did you initially come in contact with Diddy?
Okay, it's a cute story. I'm from California. Prior, I had never been on the East Coast in my entire life. I had never been to Florida. I had never been to New York, nowhere on the East Coast. And a guy I was dating, Anthony Gallo, he's from Cali. We were both from Cali. He got an opportunity. He got scouted by a guy in LA who was a reputable agent, scouting agent. It was initially Wilhelmina Models. And so they gave him the opportunity to come to New York for an audition. When he went out there, he ended up getting a lot of callbacks, but he was back in LA. And they said, well, you know, you're getting all these callbacks, but if you're going to model for real, we need you out here. So he had never been on the East Coast either. So he was like, and at this time, my family had found out that I had done.
Mind you, this chick is a porn star.
Adult movies. Now, mind you, I had an ex-boyfriend, Jake Steed. He was my boyfriend at first, and he manipulated me into the adult film industry. I only did 8 movies in a 6-month period of my life in the year 1999, but those 8 movies in 6 months follow me to this day. And I signed a residual contract, and Jake Steed been collecting all the money. He done put me on Pornhub. I'm everywhere. And they said he hiding out in South America. He's been collecting my money the last 20-some years. I'm the one that gave Ray J and Kim Kardashian to connect. If you look at the production team, you can see we have the same production team. You see mine was filmed first. Me, Ray J, Brandy, we all grew up in the same church, Church of Christ. Brother Norwood, their father is my vocal coach.
Oh yeah. So she gave Ray J and Kim the plug, so she take credit for that. She's also, now that I remember her, she's the one who said that Beyonce named herself Sasha Fierce because of her. Now I remember.
So that's how we already knew each other. But they got famous with theirs because Kim Kardashian had a little bigger of a name because of her dad. So when Anthony got scouted, we ended up, my family had found some member of our church, my church from 9 years old had found out I did adult movies. They brought it to the minister who brought it to my parents. And when I came home from work, I was working as a telemetry technician in the critical care unit at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. And when I came home from my shift, my parents had it on the big screen. Me with a it in my mouth.
No. Your parents had that on there?
The valedictorian, literally. The sheltered one from the suburbs who had never even had sex before in their knowledge. You know, the innocent one, their love child on the big screen with it. So when I shame my family like that.
What was that like, walking into there and seeing that on the screen?
It was the worst day of my life. I still feel the memory, and it haunts me the same way Diddy haunts me to this day. I can still remember the way I felt, how my parents looked at me, you know. And then, so when Anthony got the opportunity to move to New York, I was like, man, hell yeah, because I did the movies in '99, but they didn't find out until 2004. And that was the same time Anthony got asked to move to New York. So I said, man, I'm going with you. And then when we got out there, Anthony was going to go see whatever. He ended up getting an audition with Ford Models, and then Ford signed him. That was Cassie Ventura's same agency. And so we were from Cali, and we had an apartment in the middle of Manhattan. So all the models in between their go-sees and their auditions would come hang out at our apartment. And we had the weed, and that's when weed was hella illegal. So we was from Cali, we had the weed. Anthony looked good. I was working at Larry Flint's Hustler Club, so I was already the hottest stripper because Manhattan is only 11 miles, about 13 miles. I'm from Cali, the West Coast. All the East Coast people grew up together. They don't know me and Anthony like that, so they're intrigued. I look good, he looked good. It's 20 years earlier. I'm 46 right now. I'll be 47 in January. So imagine me in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? Body was extra banging, and even now, everything's real, butt real, lips real, nose real. I've never had a million behind me, so just imagine that.
So tell us a little bit more about how you guys actually got into doing these Diddy parties and him propositioning your dude.
Anthony is signed to Ford Models. Cassie is coming over to our apartment, hanging out. We're all friends. We actually started.
So he's hanging out with Cassie?
Yeah, she would come over our apartment too, because her and Anthony were both signed to Ford Models. We were convenient right there in the middle of the city. So in between your auditions, your casting, you would come smoke weed and hang out at the bomb couple from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We had the doorman building. We was popping. And so
if you can't balance on one foot for 30 seconds, I beg you to try this. You don't need to train harder.
So we all had our own private stories of, because you know, East Coast music was a soundtrack to our lives, you know, from the West Coast. Like, we was fans of everybody. Mary J. Blige, Biggie, 112, Craig Mack, Mace, you know, Black Rob, you know, Dirty Money, Diddy, you know, everybody, you know. Lil Kim, shout out to Lil Kim. I got to meet her with T-Pain. She's very nice. She was very nice to me. So when we got there, we all had our own like when me and Anthony got there, we had our own vision of what we would do if we ever met these certain people, Jay-Z, Diddy, and all that. And then Cassie did too. Her and Anthony were inspiring models. And Cassie wanted to sing and stuff. Anthony, he just more wanted to model, smoke weed, look good, get his dick up type shit. Cassie, she wanted to model, but she wanted to sing. She wanted to be an entertainer. And so we all had dreams to meet Diddy. So then fast forward, Anthony ends up getting called to audition for Diddy for the Sean John campaign. So he never invites me along to his auditions or his go-sees, but this particular day he invited me because he knew I was a fan. Like, he knew I was gonna be mad he went to the damn thing, you didn't take me, you know what I mean? Because I you know, wanted to meet people and stuff. I was already a dancer, I was already moving and shaking, I already had a gang of athletes and whatever, but the music industry, because I rap and sing, that's where I wanted to get into.
This chick is lying. So just to let you know, this is the girl who said, I'm trying to find the actual interview where she said these things. Host been out speaking on her own words. She makes the claims you mentioned. Alleged Matthew Knowles was involved in sex trafficking her and another woman, including flying them between LA and New York, saying that after Beyonce started using the Sasha persona, she sent my homegirl in on her daddy. So this girl says that she was mad that Beyonce started using Sasha. Which Beyonce didn't start using Sasha, she started using Sasha Fierce. She said Sasha was her dancing name, and Beyonce, so like she's the only girl who's ever been named Sasha. Like, you're the only Sasha ever. She said that Beyonce heard her say Sasha, and she liked it, and then started calling herself Sasha Fierce. And she got so mad, she sent her homegirl on Beyonce's father, and then Beyonce's father ended up cheating on Tina and giving her homegirl a baby. And he was flying her and the homegirl out from LA to sex trafficking us across the state lines. Lord have mercy. And you see people in the comments, I believe it. I believe it. Oh my goodness gracious. Goodness. All right. Real quick, we got to get to Sophie Cunningham, man, and this WNBA crap. Now, let me see. Let me get a timeline of this, right? Let me get a timeline. How did Sophie So the WNBA, right? As we all know, the WNBA used to be looked at as a mostly gay league, right? The WNBA was known more for like women who didn't look like women, right? They were more rough. They more looked like men. They were more, most of them dated men. Now, not in the beginning of the league, but right around the mid 2000s when the league started and the generation started changing, right? That's when you started seeing more LGBTQ players, right? Right around the mid 2000s. And it's been known as a league really until around right before Angel Reese, when Angel Reese really kicked the door open for as far as implementing fashion into it. But right before Angel Reese, you started getting some women who were looking like women, right? Who didn't mind looking like women. After you had about a decade of most of these women looking like niggas, right? A lot of the WNBA are gay women, right? So now, when Angel Reese came in, Caitlin Clark came in, Kelsey Plum came in, right? Nafisa Collier. They're more on the feminine side, right? They're more on the feminine side. Angel Reese started getting people. They didn't start all that fashion behind, watching them come into the game, watching them arrive at the arena, and then they take pictures like it's a runway. They didn't start that until Angel Reese started it. And you got to give her that props for that. Hey, what's up, Reese? You got to give Angel Reese a props for that. She's really one who started that. Right? Now, let's see. So Sophie Cunningham, right? Sophie Cunningham is a member of the Indiana Fever. She's kind of known as like Caitlin Clark's bodyguard. When Caitlin Clark was getting pounded by, a lot of the women in the league, where people were saying she was getting pounded and getting fouled unfairly and stuff like that and getting roughed up. One day, she was getting roughed up, what they felt as though she was, and Sophie Cunningham, who is a jiu-jitsu expert, right? Not that you can use jiu-jitsu on the court, but just let you know she can fight a little bit. There was a player named J.C. Sheldon was coming down, and Sophia Cunningham kind of like wrapped her up and threw her to the ground, protecting Caitlin Clark. And ever since that day, everybody loved Sophie Cunningham, saying, oh, she's down with Caitlin. Oh, she's the MAGA Barbie. Like, they just made her a MAGA out of nowhere because she was because she was straight, blonde hair, blue eyes, right? But she never said anything about her, what political party she followed or what have you, right? So June 21st, ESPN published a long profile on Sophie Cunningham titled Love Her or Hate Her, or something like that. Sophie Cunningham won't be ignored. Now, in the interview, she addressed criticism she had received. And she said, I got a lot of negative feedback about me hating trans. And I'm like, I never once said that. I think that I am here to extend love. But I also think with that, love is truth. Being honest, and I want to protect young girls in a locker room or young girls in sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men. Right? Now, that was called Sophie Cunningham's take. Now, before I even go any further, I want to say, I 100%, and I don't want to offend any LGBTQ fans I have, or not fans. I'm no celebrity. Supporters or viewers that I have, that is not what it is. My oldest daughter is LGBTQ, so I'm not here to do that. But what I happen to agree with is women that were born men, You are biologically a male. You should not be allowed, right? You should not be allowed to play women's sports. It's just like a man, a woman who turns into a male, a trans man, right? She shouldn't go play in the NBA. She shouldn't play in the NBA. She's not going to be strong enough. Right? When you get locked up, like Sydney Starr, right? Sydney Starr, the biological male. Depending on the state she's locked up in, if she goes to prison, they're going to put her in a male prison, depending on the state. If she's in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I think Georgia makes you honor your biological sex. I think. If I'm wrong, y'all can correct me. But I think if she goes to jail, she's going to be in a men's prison. That's what I think. That they do that depending on the state. So I agree with Sophie Cunningham. I don't mind trans having rights. I do think they should have certain rights. I think everybody should have certain rights. However, I don't think women should be playing with men, and I don't think men should be playing with women. All right? So, this is the comment that ignited the controversy. Let me share the screen. So now, mind you, this interview took place back in February. But you know how the media is. The media is troublemakers. Right? So, on July 22nd, before a FIBA game, reporters asked her again about the ESPN quotes, and she doubled down. I said what I said. I think it's kind of common sense. And I think I always believe in that. I think it's really important to protect children. And that's little girls who are also involved in that category. I'm there to love. I'm also there to love biological women. And I think that there are rights that need to be protected. I see nothing wrong with what this woman is saying. She's not saying that trans women shouldn't have certain rights. She's not saying that she dislikes trans women. She's saying that trans women should not be playing with biological women. Because they're not women at heart. They're men. They're going to be stronger. They're going to be faster. They're going to have an advantage. I don't give a damn how many pills you take, and you're still a man. I don't care how many, hormones you take, if you grow boobs, it don't matter. You're still a man. You still have that same muscle mass. Hold on, let me see what people say. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. All right, so now they keep doubling down on this, like the woman making the comments, and now this media keeps on coming back, right? She repeatedly insisted she does not hate transgender people and that there's room for everyone, while maintaining that women's sports and locker rooms should be reserved for biological females. Now, supporters of her position, women's sports advocates, groups like XXXY Athletics, began holding rallies outside Fever games, holding up signs thanking her for speaking up for girls. Critics, the trans activists, the progressive media, and some WNBA figures strongly condemned her. Seattle Storm co-owner Celeste Keaton was suspended and fined after allegedly confronting and cursing at 2 teenage girls who was courtside supporting Cunningham. The Minnesota Lynx coach, Cheryl Reeve, wore a Trans Kids Belong shirt during a game against the Fever, and Cunningham was booed by some of the fans. The WNBA Players Association issued a statement denouncing hate, abuse, and demonization of the transgender community in response to the uproar. Cunningham has continued to stand by her original comments and says she wants to focus on the return to basketball. Now listen. Now you have people trying to ask Caitlin Clark what she thinks and third. And Caitlin Clark is like, listen, I want to talk about basketball. Like, we don't talk about that in our locker room, this, and the third. People are trying to call Caitlin Clark a coward, saying, oh, you're not standing up for your friend Sophie Cunningham. And also, oh, you don't want to say anything against the trans community, or you not supporting the trans community, right? Again, I will repeat my stance on this. Men are naturally stronger than women. An average size man, right, is going to be naturally stronger than a larger size woman. So again, I'll say it again. I said this before. Megan Thee Stallion, right? Megan Thee Stallion is about 6 feet tall, way taller than me. She's about 6 feet tall, and she's a good size, right? Lizzo isn't 6 feet tall, but Lizzo's way heavier than me, right? If I got into a fight with Megan Thee Stallion, I would fuck Megan Thee Stallion up. Dead homies. So, and I would do that because I'm still stronger than Megan Thee Stallion. I'm still more athletic than Megan Thee Stallion. I'm still, my muscle mass is still stronger than Megan Thee Stallion. I am definitely fucking up Megan Thee Stallion. There is no woman, again, there is no woman any natural, unless she is a trained karate expert or a trained jujitsu or trained something like that, that would beat me in a fight. They would have to be a trained professional fighter. Now, I'm not a trained fighter, so of course I wouldn't beat a like Ronda Rousey. Is she a boxer? Later Ali or somebody like that, because I'm not a boxer. But Megan Thee Stallion is not a trained fighter. She's just a stallion. She's just a tall girl. But I'm naturally stronger than Megan Thee Stallion. So yes, Megan Thee Stallion, or if you don't want to use Megan Thee Stallion, anybody Megan Thee Stallion's size. I'm stronger than them. So if I'm stronger than a woman bigger than me, because the muscle mass is just different. I bench press close to 400 pounds. Megan Thee Stallion ain't 400 pounds. Megan Thee Stallion is probably 200 pounds. 210, 215 pounds. I bench press 400 pounds. I could toss Megan Thee Stallion over my head. I could literally toss her over my head. So they're putting, if you put men if you put biological men in a game with women, look at the trans that's playing now. He's averaging 21 points and 20 rebounds a game. Choke slam? Absolutely. Could I choke Sam Lizzo? Absolutely, I could choke slam Lizzo. Absolutely. Absolutely. I could absolutely choke slam Lizzo. Lizzo's probably about 280? About 270, 280. Yeah, I'm a strong boy. I'm a strong boy. I'm a strong boy. Like I said, I bench press. The last time I checked, I bench pressed 400 pounds. 400 pounds. I'm a strong boy. Right? So I absolutely could choke slam Lizzo. So for them putting they're trying to put trans. Oh, I don't know. That I don't really remember. It's been a long time. Like, I was actually bench pressing, before my surgery. So, I had my surgery in March. I was actually bench pressing in February. But I haven't squatted and I haven't squatted with weight in a long time. So I don't know. But I know when I was at the gym, my trainer, and then they bench press, and then they put that thing on there, and I remember I did 380, and I was like, put another 375, and I was like, put another 25, and then I got that 400 over my head. It wasn't easy, but I got it up there. So let's see. Now you got people like Sophie had to come out again because now WNBA players like Gabby Williams, who's gay, and then I believe it was the coach of the Golden State Valkyries. I think she's Asian. She came out, I don't have any problem with trans. Right now, there's a trans player in France. And she's talking about, I hope the NBA calls me. I'm ready to go to the WNBA. Like I said, she's averaging 21 points and 20 rebounds. And then Gabby Williams, oh, I don't have any problem. Yeah, until she come over here and dunk on your Ross. When she come over here and dunk on your Ross and throw your shit in the 15th row and knock you out the playoffs, let's see will you still say the same thing, Gabby Williams. Let's see. Look, I didn't have no problem with trans. Let that come over here and average 30 and 30 rebounds and throw your shit in the 15th row and knock y'all out the playoffs, and let's see if you say you don't got no problem with trans players. I bet you Asia Wilson have a problem with it. I bet you that the straight women players will have a problem with it. And even some gay players will have a problem with it. They'll be like, well, you know, it's cool and all that, but this is a man. You know? It's a man. Talking all that smack. People are something else, man. But the WNBA, because they're on this woke stuff, man, they finally got people looking at them. They finally got people looking at their sport, right? Finally. And now you're going to come out with this, and you're turning it into everything. You're talking about everything except sports. Now, me personally, I watch the WNBA. I watch a lot of WNBA, right? But I'm going to tell you something. If the WNBA allows a trans to come over and play, I can promise you, it'll be the last game I watch. It'll be the last game I watch. I will not watch another game because it's ridiculous. If you want trans so bad, and Madison Mosley said it, if you want trans to be in the league so bad, then start a trans league or start a league for unisex. Start a unisex league or a trans league. But they should not be playing with regular women. It's just like the girls' volleyball team. There shouldn't be, the man's volleyball team. There shouldn't be a girl allowed because she's now a man, because she transitioned to a man. There should not be a girl allowed to come play on the men's volleyball team. They shouldn't do it. Shouldn't be allowed to do it. Or the men's basketball team, or the men's football team. You know, she come out there trying to be a quarterback. As soon as one of them 280-pound men hits your ass, you gonna be whimpering like a woman. You're gonna be whimpering like a woman. Remember to support my it is my Cash App is $Heaven Hollywood. Like I always tell everybody during every live, if everyone in here, you don't even have, I remember I done for $5. Okay, if you want to donate $3, everybody who donates $3, that will support the live. I'm not monetized anymore. I don't know when I'll be monetized again. They're talking about, you know, removing my account as far as my, you know, what it's called, premier accounts or whatever. So it is $Heaven Hollywood for my Cash App. Just support your boy. All right. Yeah, as much as I like the WNBA, if they bring a trans person on, I'm not watching anymore because it's stupid. It's stupid. Women, the W in WNBA stand for women, right? The Women National Basketball Association. I'm gonna assume that's what the W stands for. You know what I mean? So anyway, with that being said, once again, it's $ Heaven Hollywood. If you want to donate $1, donate $1, $2, $3 to the channel, right? $ Heaven Hollywood. We're gonna be back tomorrow. There's not really a lot going on, you know. It's not really a lot going on, but I wanted to come and at least touch base with y'all to go over the few topics that are going on, and if anything happens that we need to discuss, we'll come on quick, right? All right, it's your boy Heaven Hollywood. This has been another installment of the Heaven Hollywood Experience. Catch you on the next one.